Hi, everybody. This is Matt Liebsch from Pioneer Midwest, and I am coming to you live from my ski shop in Osseo Maple Grove, Minnesota. And this is part three, I think, of recapping the 2020 Birkie. And I think last time we talked a little bit about facts and structures and kind of race strategies and how I was feeling, which was not great on the day. Looks like uh, Yuri just mentioned to me that maybe 40 minutes into the race at this point in time, and I'm not sure if we're over Bodecker, which is 18K, or not. This is, um, we definitely have not got to double yet, I think, but I can see the group is strung out, and I believe that's Deer Hug at the front, skiing very, very quickly, and it is single file, and I think if I look back at the back of the train, I may still have been dangling off the back, which is it's a tough place to be. So if you're right in line and you're skiing within 6 feet of the guy in front of you or gal in front of you, you're going to get a nice draft and sucked along a little bit. And if you, in my case, there's a 20-foot separation, 25, 30 feet. You're dangling. You're not getting any of that aerodynamic benefit, and you're just kind of suffering. So that's at this point in the race. If I'm even back there, I'm trying to see. The resolution's not great. I think I may have popped already, um, but it's a tough place to be. Here's our uh, timber trail. I think. No, this is uh, that might have been actually uh, Bodecker on the feed station, but regardless, we're not quite to double O yet, and I was suffering in the back of the back of the train here, and you can see that the classic skiers bumped up against the trail, but yeah, Deer Hug is skiing stronger. That could be closer, and I know the Norwegian boys are skiing in positions 1 and 3 right now, and Guillard, the French guy, is is number 2 in the race, and then you've got a fistful of Americans chasing. But I'm talking to the Norwegians post race. Their plan was to go very hard for the first third of the race because they knew it was very, very hilly terrain, and they wanted to dwindle the group down as small as they possibly could. And here you can kind of see one of the Norwegians is pulling over, and he's looking for some assistance to keep the pace high. He definitely knows that the group is getting shrunk down, and um, oh yeah, I'm still just at the back of the group there. I'm not there's just a 20-meter gap, so I guess I hadn't gotten fully popped off this train, but I had saw that Glorsren uh, or Deer Hug had pulled over and started going slower. And then unfortunately, Giard took up the pace at the front and went right to the front and kept the gas going here. So I could see the train kind of coming back to me, um, and everyone was at the front walking the dog a little bit. And then Giard kept the pace up, and he's pulling over now, and one of the Norwegian boys pulled right through to keep the pace high. So this was kind of when my opportunity to stay on the front group ended. I'm back through the woods, and I can barely see myself, and I'm not standing well on my skis. I can see my body language, and I'm not dynamic in my leg position. I'm standing on a straight leg, which is not a fast position. You want angles in your lower legs. So knee and ankle flexion and pressing, pressing your skis forward. So if you know this if this hand is the snow and this other hand is you, and imagine your ski is like a bar of soap between them, you want to apply pressure, apply load, and then the skis will accelerate away from you. So I was dying. My legs were tired from the work week leading up to the Birkie, and I was just uh, standing on a very stiff straight leg. And if you compare that to our Norwegian our Norwegian guy here in the front, you can see good angles in the knee and ankle, and he is pressing his ski, as he's getting his hip over it, he's keeping lower leg angle, and his ski is accelerating. Even up some of these steeper uphills, you can watch the skis move, and they're accelerating even up the hill, and they are skiing so clean and with pace that it looks like not the Birkie Trail. It doesn't even look that hilly through here, but this is the first half of the race, and there's a lot of hills. I mean, we're on a downhill right now, but it's gonna pitch up here in a second, and they're gonna V2 up it like it's nobody's business. Oh, here we go. That's a snowmobiler's corner. So we're actually not even close to Bodecker yet, which is why I was still just dangling off the back of this group. I was hoping to come around that corner and be able to get back on the group, but it was not going to happen. But if you can see the body position, like everybody in line here is it's got good angles in the knee and ankle, and but yet their upper body is staying fairly upright, so they're standing tall on the ski without straightening their leg. And you can just see there's a strong impulse with the core, and you can see arms, core, and leg are all firing at the same time as they're finishing that stroke. So there's some effort going into this pace here. And there's in the blue jacket was Bill Pierce, former CXC coach, and he was actually on the side of the trail giving feeds to Brian and Caitlin and a few others. And I remember vividly skiing by him. I don't even think he recognized me because I look so ragged. I'm like, "Hey, Bill," and I was hoping that he would toss a feed bottle at me, but no such luck. I went. By the time he recognized who I was already by him, and I still had some mild aspirations that I was gonna somehow magically get back on this group. Well, the only way I was gonna get back on these guys is if somebody in the front just started walking the dog, and everyone else decided that they did not want to ski in the front, and it just wasn't even happening. Even up this kicker hill, I think this is the hill right before Fire Tower. It's a pretty steep little head wall. These guys are jump skating up the hill, and they're skiing at a pace that's beyond what you would normally ski for 50K. But I know that was their game plan, is to just create some separation from most the rest of the field, and then probably switch gears and go to cruise mode a little bit. So, but Giard in the front here is he's skiing with a lot of snap, and he's been trading off with the Norwegian boys, and you can just see that we are single file, and mini Birkies this early in the race, it's not single file. There's a group of 20-30 people, and we're side by side, and sometimes three abreast. And not to point out the skier on the left, but you can see that there's a big difference between World Cup athletes in leg utilization and then your average master skier who's got kind of a stiffer a leg. So you get a lot of propulsion from having good leg compression and a nice snappy impulse. And that's something I coach and talk about with athletes I work with, is it's easy as we watch these guys right now to see compression with the arms and the core. So that's snappy, and that is universally coached. Like, you want good impulse with the upper body and the core. The thing that doesn't get mentioned as much is forces mass times acceleration. So you want that impulse, which is that acceleration component, but a lot of skiers forget about the lower half of their body. So you need good impulse with the legs. So these guys, when they're coming off the ski, there's a nice snappy push. They're finishing the push all the way, and they're creating a lot of force through their lower half just because they got that acceleration, that impulse through the legs as well. So they're creating good acceleration through arms, core, and leg, and then they're timing it so they're doing it all at the same time. The average master skier, you can get some good impulse through the upper body, the arms for sure, and a little bit of core, but they usually leave the legs just to kind of dangle underneath them, and they're not doing much. We're climbing Fire Tower Hill right now, so this is the group is shattering a little bit. You've got I believe that's Adam Martin in the green team suit on the left is kind of in his own lane, and he's bridging back up. And you've got Bjornsson in fourth, and Ian Torshia is kind of right near Adam and looks like sixth. So you got these 6 guys away, and then guys 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 was those guys are just suffering right now, and the Euro boys are keeping the pace quite high. This is a little suffer hill here. You get up the main climb, and then there's a little bit of a reprieve and a little dip here with a little glide, and then you got one more kicker until you get over the top. And I know the Birkie Trail surprises some of the Euros on how hilly it is, because generally World Loppets in Europe are very, very flat, and except maybe the Norwegian Birkie, there's not that much climbing. So every hill these guys come across, they just have to go max. It's programmed into them to go max effort. And there's so many hills in the Birkie, you can't really go max up every single hill. So at some point in time, I know these guys definitely slow down. I wasn't there for that. I was hoping that I would have enough energy that I would be there for that, but it wasn't in the cards this year. So my legs felt like petrified wood right now. So these guys are going over the top, and they're on the backside of Fire Tower right now, and I was probably still just cresting it, and I was thinking about where the nearest bus was. Here we got one of the Norwegian boys must have had fast skis, because he is kind of shot off the front of the race. And I wasn't here for this part of the race. I was shelled off the back as of a K ago, and so this is new. I haven't seen this before, but Deerhug and Glorsren are. I mean, who knows? Maybe they wanted to go away by themselves the whole race, and looks like they're trying to make that happen. But our Americans, I know, never let that get away. So Bjornsson is, I think, in third right now. It's kind of hard to see it's easy to get snowmobile coverage on the uphills because they can slow down and get everything. On the downhills, these guys they're going 40 kilometers an hour, and it's a narrow, twisty trail. So the snowmobile's got to hit the gas and get a little separation so they don't get ran over. But they're still keeping the pace nice and high. The step turn in the corner is hard. And sorry, I'm turning into a spectator now because I haven't watched the footage from this year's race. Probably because I knew I wasn't in very much of it. But they are, we still got, we got elevation, we got skis coming off the ground. So these guys are pressing hard. And we have looks like Bjornsson's in third now, and Adam Martin's in fourth. And those guys close the gap up to the Norwegian boys. So they're trying to crack this apart even further. But we got some American boys that are real strong skiers as well. So they're able to close this gap. I know Bjornsson really wanted to win the Birkie. He's retired from ski racing after this season, and he was had not raced the Birkie before, and he thought that'd be pretty awesome to be able to show up at the Birkie and win it. Yeah, he was close for sure, but it's a unique animal. I mean, I won it in 2009 and been on the podium a couple other times, and you're really, really amped up right here. You're still only 30, 40, 50 minutes into the race. You haven't burnt through all your glycogen in your blood. You've got some left in your muscles, but at some point in time, you're going to get a little more tired. And the race is not won on the way to 00. You can definitely lose the race. Like I was out of it by the time I got to 00, but you're definitely not gonna win the race by being the most combative and the strongest skier up to 00. So it's if you've never done it before, it's hard to know that and to ski with the mindset that you're going to have to save some matches for late in the race. So here, rallying through the woods, you just feel like you're hero skiing, and you're like, I caught up to these guys. I've got this. I'm going to win, and I'm the strongest one here. Or I've got a fighter's chance. And you got Bjornsson right now is going to the front of the race, and he's skiing with impulse, and that's that's makes them feel really good, but that's a match that you might need later in the race. So the years that I've done really well, I've just conserved as much as possible and then given it the last 10K. But looks like our time is done, and we'll catch up in another week or two and keep going recap.